Hey guys, I'm finally going to be doing the how I bought this flat video, and I'm just going to talk you through all the figures, all the details, all the numbers regarding this flat. So starting off with a quick summary of the flat. This is a one bed flat in London. It's 673 square feet, so very spacious for a one bed, and the market value was £315,000 when I reserved it in June 2022. So I actually bought this flat without looking at it. It was off plan. It wasn't even fully built at the time. I'd only seen the floor plan, but I knew I wanted to get this flat because it's right near my mum. And I got this through the shared ownership scheme. So I own 25%. So my share is worth £78,750. I put down a deposit of £22,000, and the remaining 75% I pay subsidised rent on. And on this flat, there is no ground rent, and the lease is 990 years, which is amazing. It basically just means I'll forever own this flat and it will just be like passed through the generations. I'm gonna do a whole video on shared ownership very soon. I feel like it's a really good scheme that people just don't know about. So I'm gonna do a video talking about the pros and cons and all of that stuff soon. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload stuff like this. And now giving you a monthly breakdown of the figures. So currently for rent monthly, I pay £541. My mortgage is £309. Service charge is £207, and then bills come to about £250 roughly. We haven't actually had all of our bills yet, that's why this is an estimate. So yeah, all in, it's about £1,307 for this flat monthly. I'm very lucky because I live with my boyfriend, so we split everything. So after we've split it, it only works out to be £653.50 each. So very cheap considering it's a new build, it's, you know, in such a good location, it's so spacious, and we're just so happy here. But yeah, that was just a quick summary of the figures. I'm now going to talk through all like the background, why I bought it, and how I saved up for my deposit and all of that stuff. I reserved this flat in June 2022, and since then I've just been waiting for it to be built. So when I reserved this flat, I was only 25. I was a trainee accountant, so not on like an amazing salary, just a regular girl on a regular salary. I did not have the bank of mum and dad or any sort of financial help from anyone. I bought this all on my own, and that's why I had to do the shared ownership scheme. It's very hard to get on the ladder on your own unless you have a scheme like this, or obviously if you have rich parents that can, you know, help you with a deposit on like a proper flat. As soon as they started advertising it in April 2022, I was emailing them. I was like, I want a flat, can I reserve it? So yeah, I was one of the first people to reserve it, they said. I was just so keen. I had saved up 22k, and that kind of helped me because even though my salary wasn't the highest, because I had that deposit, I was able to get on the ladder and get that 25%. Because with shared ownership, normally they base the share that you can buy off of your income and your deposit, but more like weight goes towards your income. Also, when you buy with shared ownership, they don't just do 4.5 times your salary to calculate how much of a percentage you can buy. They actually have a separate calculator. I'll leave a link below. It's a government calculator, and that shows you how much percentage you can buy in your property. So unfortunately, it's not as easy as just doing 4.5 times, because if that was the case, then I would definitely have been able to buy a lot more of a percentage. But yeah, their calculator is quite strict. So yeah, that is why I only bought 25%, because my income at the time wasn't that high. But yeah, since then, now I'm qualified and I'm actually starting a new role soon as well. By the end of this year or early next year, I am going to staircase to 100%. I'm just saving up a bit more and waiting for interest rates to come down, because the interest rates right now are just ridiculous. I do not want to buy more at this time, just because most of it would go towards interest, and I'd rather pay the subsidised rent right now than pay so much interest. I'm very lucky because my income has increased now. I'm able to, you know, start thinking about that already. I feel like with shared ownership, if you know your income is going to increase, even if you're on a low income right now, it is good to get on the ladder. Just do it, because you know that you're going to earn more, and you know you can eventually own the full flat. So yeah, I feel like if you're similar to me, if you were on like a graduate scheme where you know yearly your income goes up, then shared ownership is ideal, I'd say. One of the good things about shared ownership is even though you are paying mortgage and rent, in total, it still works out cheaper than if you were renting a nice new build flat somewhere else. So just for comparison, I'm just gonna put up a few pictures of flats that I saw in kind of neighboring areas, new build, and how much they are. Just ridiculous, because it's not even equity. All of that is just going towards rent. Whereas at least with shared ownership, you are still paying off a small percentage of your mortgage. And obviously once you staircase, you will own it outright and you can rent it. So our plan right now is to staircase and then buy a family home. And then this can be our rental property. So that's the goal. I do want to have multiple properties and rent them out. Now moving on to how I saved £22,000 for my deposit. So I started saving using my Help to Buy ISA in 2019 when I started working. I don't think Help to Buy ISAs are available anymore, but you should check out the Lifetime ISA, which is pretty much the same thing. They're very similar, but at the time I opted for the Help to Buy ISA, and every month since I started working in 2019, I was just putting in the £200 a month after that initial 1,200. So yeah, my closing ISA balance was £7,687.55, and then the government top up of 25% on that closing balance was £1,921.89, which is incredible because that's just free money that went towards this flat just by me saving in this ISA. So yeah, in total, my Help to Buy ISA with the top up came to £9,609.44, and the remaining money I just had in my savings account, which is so stupid. But back then I didn't know about investments, I didn't know about, ETFs, Vanguard, all of that stuff. But yeah, obviously now I've gotten a lot better, and right now, whilst I'm saving for the deposit to staircase to 100%, I am investing in the S&P 500 and another ETF. I think it's the All World High Dividend Yield one. And I put the remaining savings in a cash ISA. So I'm splitting it between a stocks and shares ISA and a cash ISA. So when I come to staircase, I will gain a lot more money, hopefully. Yeah, when I saved up the 22k for this flat, I did just have my Help to Buy ISA and then just a regular savings account. But again, because I'm quite a frugal person and I'm not a big spender, I was able to save okay. I also was quite fortunate with the timing because obviously we were in lockdown in 2020 and then all of that stuff happened. So I wasn't going out much, wasn't meeting my friends, wasn't eating out much. So yeah, I was just able to save a lot of money. And again, I'm just not much of a big spender. The only things I spend on is family and holidays. Apart from that, I'm not really a materialistic person. I don't own any designer. I don't drive a fancy car. Yeah, I'm just very simple, I'd say. Another thing that helped me save is knowing how much I'm spending every single month. So I made a budget tracker, which I'll leave a link to below. I'm selling it on Etsy for very cheap because yeah, it's just a digital download. But yeah, that's exactly the tracker that I use, and it really helped me because you can just clearly see your incomings, outgoings. It shows you what percentage you're spending on different types of things. So straight away, if I knew I spent too much on leisure or eating out, I knew to cut down the next month. I think being aware of your finances and your outgoings, it just helps you save. If I'm being completely honest, I could have saved more than 22k, but I was still spending on family and stuff like that. There are some things that are just like non-negotiables. Even while saving, I don't think you should stop supporting your family, and there's some things that you still have to pay for. So now moving on to how much it actually costs, because loads of people think the deposit is all you need, and that is not true. The deposit is not enough. You should at least have like 4 or 5k on top of that for basic furniture and just for your fees for solicitors, mortgage brokers, advance rent, service charge, all of that stuff. So yeah, if you're looking for a flat right now, make sure you save about 4 or 5k on top of that to make sure you have enough to live comfortably once you're here. So yeah, for my actual costs, my reservation fee for the flat was £500. I paid mortgage broker fees of £499. And then my total solicitor's fees, including searches and land registration and all of that stuff, came to £2,012.94. And obviously on completion, I got my reservation fee back. So that is just a fee you pay just to hold the flat. I also had to pay rent and service charge for the month I was moving in and for the following month. So because we moved in mid-February, we paid for the rest of February and for March. So obviously that does add up as well. I'll leave a full breakdown here so you can see. But yeah, as you can see, that £22,000 deposit isn't all that you need. You do have to pay all the other fees on top of that. But we did get really lucky because our housing people were giving a £1,000 incentive. So because I used their recommended mortgage broker and solicitors, they gave me a £1,000 cash incentive, which was really useful because at this point you just want to save every single penny and you don't want to spend on stuff like that, especially because I didn't really know any mortgage brokers, so I just went with their recommended ones and they were really good. I don't have anything bad to say about them. Our flat also kept getting delayed. They kept pushing back the completion day and I was just so angry. So I was being a Karen and I emailed them saying, look, I'm gonna withdraw unless you tell me a fixed date or give me some sort of incentive. And that's when they said that they could give me the £3,600 furniture voucher. So they were only advertising it for new people, but because I'd already reserved, when I first asked them about it, they weren't going to give it to me, but because I complained, they did end up giving me that voucher. So we did buy the sofa, the coffee table, the office chair, and a few other bits using the voucher from David Phillips. So that was super handy. So yeah, we did save £3,600 because of that voucher. But apart from that, I think for furniture and TV and stuff, we've spent about 3K, I'd say. So for furniture in total, you can budget about 6.5 to 7K, or that's how much we spent in total. But obviously we had that voucher, so yeah, we got lucky. Buying a flat or a house is not cheap. After giving money to my family and supporting them, I was still able to buy a flat. And that's something I'm really proud of. We absolutely love this place. Yeah, we're gonna staircase soon, hopefully own 100%. And maybe in about 3-4 years, we're gonna buy a family home and then rent this flat out because I will never sell this flat. This is my first flat, this is my baby. This will just become a rental property in a few years. So yeah, that was everything about this flat. If you guys have any questions or would like to know a bit more, just leave your questions down below and I will answer them. I might do a whole video on it. So in a way it's really good because it will give me video ideas. So yeah, leave all your comments below and I will speak to you guys next time. Bye.